What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
All right. I have a Marzwani. I would almost rather listen to Pelicans talk than Saints coach talk. It is wild how bad things are for the Pelicans right now. So first off, the team sucks. There's no direction. Nobody goes to any of the games. The best players are all hurt. Nobody plays. I mean, Ingram's still out. Nobody knows what's going on. And apparently right now, Jake, it is impossible to get into Smoothie King Center because they've closed down all the roads to do a bunch of work for the Super Bowl. They're literally putting they're erecting a covered walkway all the way up and down Poydras. Apparently, like they're basically putting a roof over Poydras essentially. So right now, I was looking yesterday, somebody tweeting about, I wish you credit, maybe it was Scott, I don't know who it was, but tweeting about just what a tortured existence being a Pelicans fan is. And you look around like on a Google Maps or something, Apple Maps, whatever, it's just red every road around the stadium shut down. I think there's like
can't wait for that next
20
week.
people going to these games right now.
So, gosh, for the Sugar Bowl, like Canal and Poydras were both shut down. Obviously, you had the terrorist attack there, and so the city was certainly heightened, but like everything was closed, T-Bob. And I've seen traffic in New Orleans before, but this was crazy because everybody was having to take like side streets to do everything, and those side streets, they're meant for like half a car basically, and so there was just traffic everywhere. I can't imagine that for anybody trying to go to a Pelicans team that is 12-36.
I was going to say, which is already masochistic enough without the added benefit or detriment.
I know. I'm a little nervous for us next week when we're there because, a lot of times we're all going to be commuting kind of back and forth. How early are we going to have to leave? Hopefully because it's in the morning, like we are able to get to the convention center, get set up and feel good about it, be ready to go.
Oh, I just thought about trying to park. It doesn't matter.
That's I did too.
Yeah, Eric Truss is correct. I spent an extra 20 minutes trying to get in the arena a few weeks back. I said so many curse words in front of my son, LOL. Daniel Basham, Sweater Bob plays Baby It's Cold Outside. Did you slip into a deep sleep? It's not true, guys. I don't. I've never roofied anybody. Okay? And I don't plan on starting. I'm not T. Cosby. That's what everybody's calling me right now. I'm not T. Cosby. Okay?
T-Bill would be better.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
T-Bill.
How about y'all get Whittier? Chat. Dummies.
Oh, T-Bill.
So the Saints coaching search is still searching, still going on. And
I don't think the Coast Guard could find a candidate at this point.
Apparently the latest, Jake, is that you're down to 2 candidates. I'm a bit surprised here about one element. But Nick Underhill, talking to the Senior Bowl, basically saying in his mind that he believes that at this point it's down to just Kellen Moore and Mike Kafka, with Kellen Moore obviously being choice number 1 as he's in the Super Bowl right now. Saints pretty enamored with him. He's got a really good resume, kind of above that of Kafka. Yeah. So let's start there. What does that do for you to hear that those are the final 2 candidates?
T, you're at this point when you're like a week behind everybody else, like you're the last job and not even close, right? Everybody's moved on. Everybody's getting ready to go. Everybody's got their staffs down here, and they know who their head coach is going to be. So you're at a point where, honestly, for where you're at, I guess it's not that bad as far as you at least have some candidates that, have interviewed for head coaching jobs before. Like, you're not to the point where you got to go elevate one of your assistant coaches or maybe even the old Rizzler coming back. So, I mean, you got some guys that have had other head coaching interviews. This job's going to be difficult, though, no matter who takes it. I'm not sure that Jesus himself right now could take this roster and do a whole lot. There's a lot of challenges. We've talked to people that said this might be the worst job in the last 10 years of the NFL. That carried weight with me when that was told to me. I'm like, oh my God, the worst job in the last decade.
And sometimes you got to be like, it's always wild in life how sometimes you have to be told something, and then once you are told it, you're like, how did I not see this? Like, of course that's the case, but that's how I feel about the worst job in 10 years thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of, like, well, there's some positives, this or that. But, like, now that you mention it in those terms, you're like, well, actually, yes. Like, obviously. Right? Like, how did I not arrive here independently on my own? So,
Yeah, the guy, I mean, the assistant coach that told me this, he said 3 strikes. No money to spend, cap hell, no young quarterback on the roster that you feel great about, like a franchise-type quarterback, and no draft pick to go get said franchise quarterback. He said when you're looking at jobs, those are the 3 things. If you have one of the 3, okay. If you have 2, man, I really don't know. If you got 3, you strike out, and that's what the Saints are dealing with right now.
And so I guess the other thing is, if those really are the final 2 candidates, are you surprised that the Rizzler's not in that number? Because he does. I know it'd be unexciting, people be pissed and everything, but like,
just to kind of be a placeholder.
Yeah. It's
unfortunately for him,
basically as like a fall guy, like as a patsy, like as a bridge guy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I am surprised, yes, because I mean, you had AK and some others kind of come out and say that they would feel good about him being the guy, but I feel like they would have done that a while back, and so I am surprised that we're at this point and they don't throw his name in there as well.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's going on still. Kellen Moore, option 1. Looks like Kafka maybe option 2. And like we continue to say, unfortunately, I don't know that either is going to be set up for very much success. Tokidoki says, crazy the Super Bowl's in the one city nobody wants to coach in. People just laughing, walking in and out of the dome. Embarrassing for the city and the people. It's really bad, man. It is. Between the Saints and the Pelicans right now, it's a huge downswing. And for both franchises, like, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, This is not a situation where you have a lot of youth to latch on to and feel good about, or any reason to believe that things are going to get better. And so the city of New Orleans from professional sports, I mean, it's the worst that I've ever seen it as an adult. Really, I mean, yeah.
There's a generation of Saints fans that only know success. Like if you were born in 2000 and you're 25 years old, you've only known the Saints to have a Super Bowl window, basically, that's been open. So these last couple of years have been really rough for you. Now, if you're somebody that, is 40, 45, and whatever age over that, you know what I'm saying, you remember the Aints, you remember the bags over the head, but it's been so long since you've had that feeling. And Hazlitt had some good years, but then it fell off there at the end. And Hurricane Katrina, obviously, just devastation. And you're playing in Baton Rouge, and you're playing in San Antonio, and that was such a mess. And then since that point, though, like, you've been a model franchise. You are so far from a model franchise right now, and you feel like you are right back having a paper bag over your head and just watching filth. That's what you're watching right now, right? And so I don't know what you get fired up about. I think you have some good players, but those good players are all over 30, like we talked about yesterday. What are you selling? How do you feel good about the future, knowing where you're at in cap hell, knowing that your GM doesn't love to get draft choices? He loves to give them away. Like, what are you clinging on to right now?
Well, just remember, guys, like Mickey Loomis said, just because the results are the results and we're 5-12 doesn't mean we're doing anything wrong. So they're good. They're not doing anything wrong. So it'll certainly right itself.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.